Well, $12 million in taxpayer dollars is being funded to distort and promote a very unpatriotic view of our great nation's history. Yes, there are evils of the past, like any country, but does that mean we need to erase the positive and project an extremely grim narrative of our history? Well, I think we can do better than that. The truth would be a good start. IPA Director of Western Civilisation, Bella D'Abrera, joins me now from Darwin. Thank you, Bella, for your time.
Thank you so much for talking to me this afternoon.
The component used in this $12 million array of grants is hardly in the national interest, is it?
I would argue that it's not. So, look, I think it's admirable that Dan Tehan has announced this new initiative because we do need to study Australia's history and culture and society. I think it's a very good initiative. In practice, however, when you do look at some of the research proposals that are being funded, they portray an extremely grim and very depressing image of Australian history and Australian society and Australian culture. For example, looking at Australia's history, they talk about the modern state of Australia as resulting from just dispossession and violence. Any discussion of the current state of Australia is a focus on social inequality and conflict and, crisis. So I think it's probably a misuse of taxpayers' money. We need to talk about the positive story of Australia, and they're just not doing that.
Yeah, you see, it becomes divisive if you go down one tunnel. That is the negative tunnel, the narrative that says that things were disastrous, that what we've come up with is not necessarily flash either. If you tell both sides of the story, you might actually not become divisive, and you might have a grants program that actually works and is effective.
Look, I think that would be an excellent idea. Nobody is ever going to say that Western civilization is perfect. No civilization can ever or will ever be perfect. But it has given us everything. It's given us our political systems, our democratic institutions. It's given us our entire cultural heritage. It's given us our freedoms. And I think it would be well worth talking about those. And I think Australian taxpayers deserve to have those aspects of Australian society being talked about.
Does it play into the hands, do you think, of those cancel culture people who are looking for platforms to push their agenda?
Oh, absolutely. Look, this is the narrative that is being taught in Australian universities shapes how Australians see themselves. And if they're being taught for 3 years in the humanities that this country is an abomination and that we need to be ashamed of it, then, of course, that's going to inform how they see themselves, and that's going to inform how they behave when they graduate. And I think there's definitely a link between the narrative that is taught in the universities and people pulling down statues of, our colonial history.
Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on this. Dr. Bella D'Abrera, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.